the fuck am I watching? Each week we'll watch a movie that we'll both decide to watch and like do kind of like a kind of post-mortem review of it and just talk about how brilliantly shit it is or how iconic it was. So the movie that we chose last week was Super Mario Brothers with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. Is it Leguizamo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From 1993, and it was something.
Oh, it was like so for the people who haven't watched it, it's basically Super Mario, but everything you love about it is not in the film. So if you love Super Mario, nothing about that game is in this film. But if you love Super Mario, but it was run by mob bosses, well, you're fucking gonna love this.
Why? What? Like, it's weird because it's like we said earlier on the podcast, and I think we said it last week when we were talking about Street Fighter. It's like, watching something through the eyes of an adult versus when you watched it as a kid. Because I really obviously enjoyed the movie as a kid.
Yeah.
Now as an adult, I just find it weird mainly, and not in the sense of like, oh, it's so shit. Like, it's like, what's with the whole cyberpunk aesthetic? I feel like I'm watching Demolition Man.
Yeah.
I'm like, this looks like Blade Runner and Demolition Man had a baby. Maybe with like a sprinkling of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Running Man. Like, what's this got to do with Mario?
I genuinely think the director or the writer had an S&M kink. Because if you look throughout the whole film, they're being tased. They're being tased. There's gimp masks. Everyone's in leather. Like,
one of the notes that I put is there's the scene. It's the fucking hilarious scene where there's this like larger woman who steals this crystal from Mario. I think that the need basically. I can't even remember what the reasoning for the needing of the crystal is. Oh, it's to open a portal back to the back from this other world, the alternate Dino universe. But there's a scene where they're in a nightclub, and like I say, it's really cyberpunk kind of goth aesthetic, like where it's like very big metal boots and everything's got spikes on, and there's like literally like a woman dancing in, which is essentially a stripper cage, wearing the tiniest, like, it's almost like an all-in-one, but just for boobs and like a bits covered, all in one outfit, but it's made of metal and it has a tail. And I'm like, it's just like reptilian strippers.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, this is a kids movie.
It's supposed to be a kids film. Like, I don't understand it. Now, for me, I immediately knew what I was getting into when I saw in Mario and Luigi's apartment that had plungers on the wall. Like, their apartment was fucking stink of shit. Do you know what I mean?
You don't keep a plunger.
Why are you sticking plungers on your wall?
It's just like, you might as well have a t-shirt on that says plumber. You know what I mean? It's just like really pushing the trope. So I mean, like the obviously basic story outline is that there's like an alternate universe where kind of dinosaurs have evolved into humans, and it's all in the Tower universe where we've evolved from monkeys. And then it's about like that crossover. So like John Leguizamo, who plays Luigi with no mustache for some reason. He basically meets a girl who's an archaeologist, and she gets like stuck in this alternate universe, so they chase after her. It's just,
she's originally from that universe. Like, she's the baby in the egg.
That whole scene at the beginning is an egg's left on a nun's doorstep, like a nunnery or a church,
a convent or something.
Do you know what I thought was really funny about that, which is like such a fucking weird, like, this is just me being weird, was she picks up this, like, it's like a case with the egg in. She picks it up, and I don't know why, I thought it was fucking hilarious that the nun opened the massive fucking door to the church, picked up this case, turned around, and then like shut it with her ass. Like, she shut the door with her ass. And I don't know why, my mind was like, that's not very nun-like.
No, that's not like, that is no.
And I'm like, and then it was like, my logical part of my brain was just like, yeah, she's not a real fucking nun, Ben, you idiot.
Yeah, it's just acting. Yeah.
It's just acting. But like, so the at the beginning, the nuns have this egg that's been left, and it cracks open, and there's like a baby girl in it.
And
that's not weird, apparently.
No, that's and the nuns don't even question it. They're just like, oh, a baby, let's raise it.
You never see the nuns again.
No, that's it. Yeah,
there's never any explanation. Like, you know what I mean? She's just grown up to be a normal woman. You don't think like, You don't think the nuns would have said, yeah, she hatched out of a fucking egg? At least
Yeah.
for me, I was like, finally now I know what came first and where
Yeah.
babies come from.
Well, that's it.
like,
Yeah.
The stalk's been. Like,
It was just not questioned in any way, was it? It was just like, oh, an egg. Oh, a human baby inside an egg. Okay. And then that was
my
it.
favorite. So like just cracks out of it and just all slime. It was such a slimy film, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite subplots. Is that the Mushroom Kingdom or Dino World or whatever is ran by Dennis Hopper, who's King Koopa, who looks like Donald Trump, basically. He's just like orange face and yellow hair and stuff. But my favorite story was that is like the Mushroom Kingdom, and the king's been turned. He's been devolved in a machine into fungus.
Yeah.
And there's just like fungus that runs through the entire city, like some sort of like web system. You know what I mean? And like he kind of is omnipotent throughout the city. Is this kind of fungal creature that can like offer up items and helps the Mario Brothers in times of need and stuff with fungus.
Yeah, with fungus. No, but mate, trust the fungus though. You know what I mean? That's a line. Just trust the fungus.
So I already where you're just like, what the fuck? But yeah, I've literally got the line. I don't even remember the context. It just says your father, the fungus. Yeah. That's an actual line.
She's like talking to her dad, right? She's talking to him as the fungus or whatever, and then it cuts to like a bit of slime dripping off of it, as if it's his response. You know what I mean?
Yeah, meets him and just like, your dad,
thanks, father.
Horrible, disgusting husk of fungus, which is just like this giant fucking penis tip, and he's like, he slides out of it, and it's all dripping, just like, oh dad,
it's you.
I'll not kiss you on the lips.
Yeah, I'm glad I look like me mother. Like fucking hell.
I got me mother's legs, but your melty face. Like, all right. It's just like, I mean, it was great. I was fucking loving it, to be fair.
I was loving it for the wrong reasons.
But
it was an hour and 49 minutes, and it felt longer than the Batman.
Yeah.
Like, it's... That's...
I went to watch it, and I really didn't think it would be that long.
I thought it would be like
really short. And
a brisk hour 20, and it's not. Like... The funniest thing for me is, right, Luigi is called Luigi Mario.
That's the best line.
So that means what's your name, Mario's called Mario Mario?
Yeah, that's the best line. When it goes, what's your name? He's going Mario, and he's like, surname Mario. You watch your name, Luigi. What's your surname, Mario? So what? Mario, and Luigi, Mario. Yeah, best line in the fucking film. So stupid. And
I don't know why, but it just seems they leaned into the Italian bit, because every meal they were just putting Parmesan on it. Like that.
It was so...
It was like
over the top Italian.
Yeah.
Like I get it, obviously he's an Italian plumber, but like there's when Daisy got captured, it was like King Koopa's capturing different women because he's trying to find the princess.
Yeah.
And what was hilarious is like Daisy's like this blonde-haired, blue-eyed, like attractive woman or whatever. All the other women were like the most stereotypical Italian women ever.
Yeah.
That had really thick, brutal accents. That all had black hair and brown eyes. Like all of them were like your stereotypical like attractive Italian woman. Like they're all beautiful, don't get us wrong, but they were just like they're all just like, hey Mario, hey Mario, like all
I'm walking here. Yeah, like,
and then we've just got like Princess Daisy, who's like polar opposite, is like pale and like blonde, blue-eyed. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
just so weird.
It is, and how they found them. How these women was Iggy Koopa would just sniff people in the street. Like that's how they found the princess. Like that was it. He was just walking around, and there was actual scenes of him just sniffing people.
Sniffing. He got they bought some hot dogs at one point. And he was just like sniffing the hot dogs. Like, he's like, they say they're dog. Just like, all right. One of my fucking favorite weird fucking moments, which was like so inconsequential, is like basically they've got this rock that obviously, like I said earlier, like is the key to a portal to between the two worlds.
Yeah.
And this old woman tries to steal it off Mario, and she pulls out like a fucking taser gun, and she tases him. But then this giant woman just like throws the old lady, like just yeets her over the side of this like wall. It's like they're on this like kind of like like a set of flats type complex with like balconies, and it's like quite a big touch. She just yeets this old lady, and it's like such an unnecessary scene. Like every ridiculous bit of that interaction was unnecessary.
It was like they had been in this place all of 2 minutes, and they were robbed not once but twice. Like the old lady stuck them up and took this stone. Then out of nowhere, some big, massive black lady yeets this old lady. So then the old lady proceeds to go on the warpath and just destroy it, like a street for no reason. And then they were like, "Thank you." And then she punches Mario and then flies away in Iron Man boots.
Yeah, what I thought was so weird is like that. I mean, I thought it was all fucking weird, but it's just like the fact that it was so fucking weird. But what they chose to do was like base a lot of stuff in reality. So they're like, well, Mario cannot jump super high logically, so we'll make up these stomp-ad jump boots, which are just these massive metallic boots.
Yeah,
that'll allow you to jump super high and like obviously Mario shoots fireballs, so the Goombas were like holding flamethrower type guns that would shoot fireballs and stuff like that. They were like, it's like, you know, like in certain Spider-Man iterations, they'll have it be like a capsule or like some sort of machine on his wrist rather than it actually coming out of his wrist and stuff like that. It was like this kind of like, well, I'll have to come up with a logical reason. But that woman steals the crystal, and the whole scene where he has to get it back by having like a dance off with her. It's like, and then all of a sudden that really endears her to him. Like she's like kind of like, oh, I know you've stolen your crystal back, but we're friends now.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna teach you how the boots work. And
but it's a Mario film. Like,
what's it got to do with Mario?
What's it got to do with Mario? Any of it?
It could so easily have not been a Mario film, and it would have still like made sense is the wrong fucking word because there's like the wrong description because it doesn't make fucking sense, but it still would have made the exact same amount of sense if it wasn't a Mario film. They changed their names, didn't have them wear the iconic colored outfits.
Yeah.
And every little, because there was so few actual nods to Mario.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Like, I mean, the Goombas looking nothing like Goombas.
And
like
that literally, all they had was names of characters. That was it. And like,
well, there was the character Toad, was it? Toad was just like
singer,
a random guy, singer, and he had like this spiral haircut. And it was the most ridiculous haircut you've ever seen. And then he gets devolved into a Goomba, which are basically like these really 7-foot tall giant reptiles wearing big jackets and cyberpunk outfits and have these tiny little heads. And they just look like little bald reptiles.
Yeah.
But then because Toad had that spiral haircut, when he was turned into a Goomba, he has the pattern of the spiral haircut on his little head, just so that you can differentiate him from all of the other Goombas because they all look exactly the same. And it's just so stupid.
It's mental.
Yoshi was the best character though by far. Yoshi was.
I think it holds up because it's not CGI. It's like animatronics and like what's practical. That's what it's called. Practical. It actually held up really well. It looked really good, and I would say because
I think the sets were gorgeous. Yeah, like there was moments where I was like, and it added zero to the film. But there was like the cars were ran like Dodgems, where they had like this like kind of metal chassis and like an arm that would like touch to an electric ceiling, which would power the car, kind of like a Dodgem. And I was just like, that's such a fucking awesome aesthetic. But that's what I'm saying. I felt like I was watching like a Blade Runner or like a cyberpunk type film. I was like, is this Demolition Man? Is this Running Man? Like it was just so.
Well, that's
I wonder if it was just sets from those films, like you know, like
just
how
reused.
Obviously when you go because they do that, the reuse sets and stuff. It felt very much like a reused set from another cyberpunk film.
It felt like to me, what's the film called? It's an Arnie film, and I can't believe I'm forgetting. Total Recall.
Absolutely,
it felt like it was Mario.
Like on Mars,
and they were on Mars. And like, if you had took out the fact that they were the Mario Brothers, I think it would have been a weird fucking film, totally mental. But it would have probably had this cult following. It would have had this.
It still probably does, but like
for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you've got films like Highlander 2 that is absolutely mental in comparison to Highlander, but it's got its own cult following. Like it's fucking it's about water or something, and like they dehydrate people. You know that film about swords and immortality. It's now about water and draining.
It's like is it Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? It's like that's like another one called Fault. But that's what I'm saying. It's like somebody's wrote this completely different movie, and then they've like, hey, let's thumb like 3 Mario tropes into it.
Yeah,
we'll call them the Mario Brothers. We'll call all characters named after characters in Mario because that was pretty much the only connection. Like Koopa being called King Koopa, that was pretty much the only connection really.
Well, that's it.
For his character. Who the fuck was Lena? Like his girlfriend, like Koopa's girlfriend, or like accomplice?
No idea.
What was that about?
I've no idea.
The best insult though I've literally wrote down as best insult is I think Mario and Luigi are like arguing, and oh no, it's Mario is arguing with the Iggy and Spike, the brothers. I can't think what they're called, and he says, "Shut up, biscuit head."
Yeah,
and it just has no fucking context. He goes, "Shut up, biscuit head," and I'm like, that is the greatest fucking insult.
Yeah, that's it.
And I feel like that really encapsulates everything that you need to know about this movie, because that has no fucking sense to anything. His head doesn't look like a biscuit. They'd never mentioned biscuits prior to
that. Well, not.
It was just such. It was like it was the equivalent of just going up to someone completely offset and just going, "You look like a toaster." Like it meant nothing. You know what I mean? And it was like one of those things that I was just like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
Yeah, and I mean the maid, Dennis, is it Hooper?
Dennis Hopper, yeah.
Hopper, yeah. They made him a germaphobe. Why?
What was that about?
There was no explanation.
That's another fucking great line, actually, is because he's a germaphobe, he's wiping everything. He's putting like alcohol stuff on his hands because there's fungus everywhere. You know, the old mushroom king, who's now just like this omnipotent fucking fungus is everywhere. So he's trying to wash it off his hands all the time. But then at one scene, for some reason, there's a scene where Cooper, like Dennis Hopper, and his girlfriend Lena, whoever the fuck she's meant to be, that in a mud bath. And he's got mud up to his neck, and he goes, "The thing I love about mud is it's both clean and dirty." I'm like, that is such a good line, because his character, like you said, why is his character germaphobic?
Yeah, like there's just no. Oh fucking hell! One of the best bits for me, the funniest bits was when Daisy introduces our Mario and Luigi to her father, like their boyfriends, like, "Daddy, look, it's Mario and Luigi," and it's just like this dripping fungus.
This dripping fungus, and he's like, "Is that an approval drip or?"
Yeah, like, I mean, do you like it? Is that okay? I mean, like, it's fucking mental, and
it is mental.
Like the Cooper gets blown up by the bob arm thing.
Yeah,
and it's wearing little Reeboks. Like, it shows you the Reebok logo.
That is definitely just.
It walks for miles.
Like, for miles and goes exactly where it needs to go.
And it walks for miles. Like, you do that with a toy, it walks for 2 seconds.
I love the Reebok. The Reeboks bit because it just reminded us that film's obviously a big part of film's funding is obviously is sponsorship deals and stuff like that. And that was such an egregious but brilliant fucking implementation of the fucking advert. You know what I thought was really funny, which was like, you know, like when you're laughing at a bit and you go, people aren't laughing this as hard as I'm laughing at it. Like, I'm laughing too hard at this fucking stupid bit. Is Mario goes to save the other princesses or whatever, the other women, the Italian women who've been fucking trapped. And I mean, there's a great scene in the tunnel which we'll talk about, but the bit that I was fucking laughing at is before he goes to save them, there's like a Goomba walking around the room that they're in, and he walks over to a fucking drawing of a giant fucking dinosaur, like a plesiosaurus, but like a really crudely drawn for kids. It's a colouring book and starts colouring it in. And I was creased at this because it makes no fucking sense. Because it's already been predetermined that the Goombas are fucking stupid. Yeah. But it's just the fact that he's like guarding these women, like, get you shut up and stand in your corner sort of thing. Yeah. And he goes over to colour in badly.
The bit that...
Who fucking said that we should film this? Who pointed a camera at that?
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea.
Someone had to go and buy a colouring book.
Yeah. Do you know when Mario turns the heating down? Like that's his big like way of like fucking with them or what have you.
Yeah.
And then he goes into the room where the women have been kidnapped. And I shit you not, one of the women, and I've got it written down here because I was laughing so much I had to put it on pause. When he turns the heating down, it cuts to them saying, right, turning the heating down, it's against our civil liberties. They've been kidnapped. They're kidnapped
and taken to another dimension.
Yeah, they're in a windowless room with 5 beds, and the heating being turned down is against our civil liberties. I was fucking crying. I was lying there and crying.
Then he comes in and chins the Goomba, and then he's like, "We're gonna get a mattress to like sit on and bobsleigh down this tunnel," but he calls it a Goomba mattress. He says, "Girls, get the Goomba mattress." I'm like, what do you mean? It's just a mattress. It's not branded. Get the Goomba mattress.
Get the Goomba mattress, girls.
That whole scene's brilliant, though. There's a scene, obviously, where they're like sliding down the tunnel on this mattress, but behind them there's another pair of Goombas who are on a mattress.
Yeah.
And there's like really corny action music playing, and
yeah, it's
oh
my
god,
God.
it's just that was brilliant. I'm gone, me. That was
Yes. Like
see
the save the
fucking
world
Goomba mattress.
one plumbing tool at a time. Like they always had the right tool for the job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, and like the Scapellis or something. Like what were they? Evil reverse plumbers? Because wherever they went, they just seemed to like destroy it. So there was like floods everywhere. So they like the evil versions of Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, the Scapellis were really like Wario and Waluigi, weren't they?
Yeah, Waluigi. Yeah, it's for me. Like I'll never watch that film again. Whereas I could watch Street Fighter again. But like I saw the Batman. It was a 3-hour film. And this felt longer. I checked 5 times to see how long left I had of the film. And I was like, what? Another 20 minutes?
At the end, they're obviously going to go through the portal, but like Princess fucking Daisy decides she's going to stay because, you know, she wants to meet her dad now that he's no longer fungus.
Yeah.
He smells a bit better. Now that he's got eyes, she's like, oh, well, now I want a relationship with him now that he's got a human form. You know what I mean? Picky much. But
at least you've got a dad.
And Yoshi waves at them and then they wave back to Yoshi. And he's just like a little velociraptor or whatever. And he goes like, and they're like, oh, yeah, bye, Yoshi.
Yeah, bye, Yoshi, the character we've just met now. This waving dinosaur.
Yeah, bye, my new best friend, who I've never had any interaction with because she's like Daisy's best friend, not mine.
Jesus Christ.
And then Toad also walks up behind them then and goes, bye-bye. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a Muppets film, basically.
It is like the thing
actually the Goombas make some great noises. They have they do a lot of like inquisitive grunts and stuff where like they notice something, they go and stuff like that. Yeah. There's a lot of that, which is
the thing that
beautiful.
for me is the recorded sequel bait. Like somebody for this film was gonna get a sequel.
Yeah, got an after credit scene, didn't it? Which was like
it was like
Daisy coming back,
Luigi,
looking like she looks like Furiosa from Mad Max, and she's like, "I need you to come back," sort of thing. And they grab their toolkits, like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah, well, that's it.
0 out of 10. Didn't get a Super Mario.
0 out of 10.
I can't believe we didn't get a sequel.
Yeah, I'm gutted. Like, but after I watch a film, I always go on to IMDb because I like the look about like the making of the film. The Bob Hoskins and John I can't say his last name. Leguizamo were drunk 95% of the film.
I think everyone was drunk.
Yeah, because they had to be. And it was a 7-week shoot, and it took 17 weeks to do it because the writer and the director and Bob Hoskins went on record and said they were fucking cunts. He said, "Excuse my language." Yeah, that cunts because they wouldn't take no for an answer. If one person had an idea and the other person didn't like it, they would totally scrap it. And it was like kind of, I'm the god here. So they were just the film the way it is because they had 2 differences of opinion and neither of them would back down. So it's just a mishmash of both their ideas. And one of them was definitely an S&M. Like I am convinced S&M and mushrooms because that's all there was. Yeah. It's just. People were being tased. People were being locked in cages, and it wasn't like a cell. It was like a little.
That's what I'm saying.
It
was so very. It was very like weird. I say. It was weird. I did like there's a scene where they get put in a police car, and the police car windows in the back, instead of having windows, had bars like a cell. Yeah. I thought that was such a cool little touch. I'd have to give it a 1 out of 10 because I think, don't get us wrong, a 0 is probably correct in the sense of it's the worst film ever.
Yeah,
but I have to give it a 1 because I still enjoyed it in spite of it, like because I thought it was fucking hilarious. Like I did laugh a lot.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed myself.
I enjoyed it. So I have to give it a 1.
I would revise it. I would say 1 then. You know, but like I said, coming out of the Batman and that being 3 hours long and feeling like a brisk hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like the Mario Brothers movie, Super Mario Brothers, whatever it's fucking called, felt. Yeah. Like a 3-hour film, and I thought it was an hour and 20 minutes long. I thought I'll watch this and then I'll go to bed. And I was like, what's going on here? Because I watched some of it downstairs and then realized it's like this long. Sorry, I didn't watch it downstairs. I watched it through the day some of it. Like when I messaged you, I was like, "What is this film?" And then I thought, well, I'll leave it until I come back from the Batman, and I'll watch it when I'm lying in my bed. And I was just like, I really want to go to sleep, but I need to finish this. How long has it got left? It was like 49 minutes. I was like, wait, it's an hour and 49 minutes. How is this film that long? And so yeah, it took so long, man. It was ridiculous.
So
but yeah,
that was Super Mario Bros. That was Super Mario Bros. I think we should watch Batman and Robin, like you said, for next week.
Yeah, I'm sold.
Sorry, not next week, next episode.
Yeah, wherever that is on streaming, I'm sold. Like, if it's on streaming, well, I'll definitely watch it. Like, that's because I cannot buy it. Like, I cannot do that. But yeah, man. Super Mario Brothers.
I feel like that's probably a beautiful place to end. 1 out of 10 for Super Mario.
1 out of 10. If you like Super Mario the game, don't watch this film because it's just not Mario. Unless you like your Mario to have mobsters in suits and weird dino worlds, then go for it.